Hi.
And I'm going to share my screen. And we are going to be ready to roll right now. Okay. So today we are talking about everyday conversation. Let me get us on the right page. Everyday conversation. Okay. So we're going to learn how to talk about preferences, both our preferences as well as how other people prefer things. We'll have to ask about that as well. Let me do this correctly, guys. I'm so sorry again. I just have to make sure I share my sound so that you guys can hear. I figured out how to make sure you guys can hear the book now, okay?
Okay.
Let me know if you guys can hear this, okay?
Unit 2, ready for
Yes.
page
Yes.
27.
Yeah.
Lesson 4, everyday conversation. Exercise 1A.
Do you want to get together this Wednesday, Jack?
Sure, Diana. What would you like to do?
Well, on Wednesday night, there's a new nightclub that's opening. Or there's a movie on TV. Take your pick.
I think I'd rather watch a movie. Should I meet you downtown?
Let's play it by ear. I'll call you on Tuesday night.
Sounds good. How about going out this Friday, too?
Sure. What do you have in mind?
Well, on Friday night, there's a 2-for-1 special at the bowling alley, or there's a sale at the mall. It's up to you.
I think I'd rather go to the mall. Should I pick you up at 6?
Sounds good.
All right.
All right.
So they're having a big week, right? They're making a lot of plans. They must be in the honeymoon stage. So let's look here. What does the man and the woman decide to do? What do they decide to do? Let's look here at this first picture. Between the nightclub and the movie, what do they decide?
Watching movie.
The movie, right?
Watching
And then over here, between the sale and the bowling, which one did they decide?
The mall.
the mall.
The mall, right? They're gonna go shopping. Okay. All right, let's look down here and let's read these answers or read these questions before we listen again. Okay. So what event does the man prefer? Number 2, Louise, can you read this one?
According to the woman, which event is interesting?
Good. Okay, number 3, Rosalie.
Who decides the Wednesday plan?
Good.
How about the Friday plan?
Good. Okay, and Mona, would you read this one?
In this conversation, what does play it by ear mean?
Perfect. Okay. All right, so we'll listen again. And then Mona, do you prefer Mona or Mona Lisa?
Either one.
Okay. All right. Well,
Easy, I think.
Mona Lisa, you think?
As you like.
Okay. Mona Lisa sounds good. I think that's fun.
Right.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Okay. Well, let's listen again really quick and listen for the answers to those questions.
Okay.
Well, on Wednesday night,
Everyday conversation. Exercise 1A.
do you want to get together this Wednesday, Jack?
Sure, Diana. What would you like to do?
Well, on Wednesday night, there's a new nightclub that's opening. Or there's a movie on TV. Take your pick.
I think I'd rather watch a movie. Should I meet you downtown?
Let's play it by ear. I'll call you on Tuesday night.
Sounds good. How about going out this Friday, too?
Sure. What do you have in mind?
Well, on Friday night, there's a 2-for-1 special at the bowling alley, or there's a sale at the mall. It's up to you.
I think I'd rather go to the mall. Should I pick you up at 6?
Sounds good.
Okay. What event does the man prefer?
For Wednesday, the movie.
The movie, right? He was given the option, what is your preference between these two? And he chose the movie, right? She didn't ask him about the mall. Okay. According to the woman, which event is interesting?
The mall.
The
The
mall.
mall.
The mall. Good, good. And who decides the Wednesday plan?
The man.
The man. And how about the Friday plan?
The
The
woman.
woman.
Perfect.
The woman.
Good. Okay. And in this conversation, what does play it by ear mean? This one, play it by ear. What does that mean?
Play it by ear.
Uh,
Can we listen for it again for the?
Yeah, we can listen to this one more time and see what the play it by ear is. I'm not sure what second it was.
Do you want to get together this Wednesday, Jack?
Sure, Diana. What would you like to do?
Well, on Wednesday night, there's a new nightclub that's opening. Or there's a movie on TV. Take your pick.
I think I'd rather watch a movie. Should I meet you downtown?
Let's play it by ear. I'll call you on Tuesday night.
Maybe I'm waiting to hear from you or something.
Kind of, right? So play it by ear means like we don't have to decide right now. We can kind of like make plans on the fly. Is that
okay.
right? So
The coin is in the air.
What does it mean, fly?
oh, so like yeah, things are up in the air, exactly. Okay, so when you play it by ear, so like for my boyfriend, it's like, okay, I know that you're off on Friday. So let's not make plans right now. Let's play it by ear and I'll call you when I finish work on Friday. I don't know what time, but since you don't have plans, then we can be casual and not worry about specifics.
Playing by ear. Play it by ear.
Play it by ear.
By
So let's say someone says, okay, do you want to have dinner at 6 or 7? And maybe you don't know what time you get off work or you don't know when you'll be hungry. So you say, well, let's just play it by ear.
Okay.
Means like, let's figure it out closer to, like very close to. So let's say if you have plans at 6 or 7, you might give them a call like, hey, I'm ready to eat. Like it's 5:30. I'm going to head over to your house about 6:15.
Okay, got it. Yes.
Does that kind of help?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like someone, generally like, okay, I know Saturday evening I have plans with Luis, Rosalie, and Mona Lisa, but we're playing it by ear, so I'm not really sure what time it starts.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
perfect. All right.
I have a question, please.
Yeah, what's up?
When you make a lot of food and invite people, what is? It's not party, but what's the right word?
When you make a bunch of food and invite people,
Yep.
I would say kind of like a party, like an adult dinner party, like a dinner party maybe.
Dinner party. Okay.
Yeah, and like a college party is like when it's like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, not in my house. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think if you said dinner party, that
Okay.
sounds good.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, let's listen to C here. Y'all let me know if you can hear it, okay?
Unit 2. Ready for fun. Page
Yes.
27. Lesson 4.
Yeah.
Everyday conversation. Exercise 1C. 1.
Do you want to get together this Wednesday?
What did they say?
Get together. Do you want get together?
Perfect. Do you want to get together this Wednesday? Do you want to get together this Wednesday?
Yeah.
So who can give me an example of using that sentence? Ask me a question. Like, do you want to get together on Thursday? Okay, what will we do? Right? Like it's how do you ask people to hang out?
Get together.
Yeah. Do you want to get together this Wednesday? I say that to my friends all the time. It's like, basically it means, do you want to come over and watch TV with me? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not really big plans or anything like that. It's just hang out. All right. Anyway, number 2.
2.
Take your pick.
Take your pick.
Your pick.
Choose one or pick one or.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like a choice.
Yeah. So like
Yeah.
up here, they were saying like, we can go dancing or we can watch a movie. Take your pick.
Take your pick.
Mhm. All right.
3,
Let's play it by ear. I'll call you on Tuesday night.
And what goes here?
Hey,
Let's play by
play
ear.
in your.
Play it by ear. Like, I'll give you a call the night before. You're not important enough to make plans with, right?
Mm.
It's a joke. Okay, number 4.
4,
I'd rather go to the mall.
I rather go to the
Rather.
mall. Rather go to the mall.
I'd rather go to the mall, right? And I think that that's similar to take your pick. So let's say someone said to you, do you want to go to the movies or do you want to go to the gym? And they said, take your pick. Which would you pick? And then you say, oh, I would rather go to the gym. It shows your preference.
Yeah. Rather means like a better choice, or
It's your better choice. So it's like
it's
your
my better
opinion.
choice. Okay.
Yeah. So I would rather do this, which means like I would like to do this more.
Yeah, you can say in French we say preference.
Exactly. It's like I would prefer to do this. I'd rather do this. They're synonyms.
Okay.
Perfect. Good point, Rosalie. Thank you. Okay, number 5.
5,
It's up to you.
Okay. What goes here?
It's up to you.
It's up
Up
to
to
you.
You can
Up to
choose.
you.
Or
Exactly, Mona. You can choose.
Depend to you or
Depends
say
on you. Yep.
depends on you.
On you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, well, would you rather do this or this? And they could say, well, depends on you. What would you like?
Okay.
Right? It's up to you. All right, we are getting this good. So this is going to be fun because I know we have talked before about how you guys would like me to help you practice pronunciation more, and then coronavirus happened and I completely forgot about it. So let's listen to this, and we're going to be listening for j and ch sounds, right? So I think that I use this, my partner and I, we text each other, like, instead of what are you doing, we say chu doing.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a way shortening of this, right? So like, would you, like, meet you, and it's just the way that we add things together when we're talking. It makes these sounds, and it's very confusing to non-English speakers.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's basically,
Correct.
we just like slur our words together, okay? So let's listen to these and kind of like pay attention to it.
Unit 2, Ready for Fun. Page 27. Lesson 4, Everyday Conversation. Exercise 2A. 1,
What would you like to do?
2,
Should I meet you downtown?
Okay. So what would you like to do? What would you like to do? What would you like to do? Kind of hear the difference? Number 2.
Bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Should I meet you downtown? Should I meet you downtown? Or should I meet you downtown?
Should I meet you downtown?
Should I meet you downtown?
Me too.
Meet you.
Yeah.
Meet you.
And for you guys, it's not so much that you would worry about pronouncing like meet you. Like, you don't need to pronounce it that way. It's more that you understand it when someone says it to you. Right? So like if somebody's like, oh, I'll meet you downtown, and you're like, what's meet ya? You know? And you'll
It's
know
like
it's like, oh,
a-
meet you. They just say it weird, you know?
It's like a word. Gotcha. I gotcha. I
Exactly. Gotcha.
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 It means got
Me.
you. I'm just too
Gotcha.
lazy to pronounce it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. You got it. That's exactly what it is, okay?
Got it. Yeah.
All right. So let's look here. And I want us to kind of read through it first so we become aware of what these words are that usually slur together, and then we'll listen to it, okay?
Okay.
All right. So which letters here combine to make a j or a ch sound? So could you call me tomorrow? Could you call me tomorrow?
Could you? D and Y?
D and Y, right? So we know that those are the ones that make that sound. And we'll listen a little bit and decide when we listen if it's making the j or ch. Okay?
Could you?
So could you? Could you?
Could you?
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Could you?
I'll get you 2 tickets for the game tomorrow. I'll get you 2 tickets for the game tomorrow.
Okay. Is L and G?
I'll get you 2 tickets for the game tomorrow.
Oh, T and Y.
Yep, I'll
T
get
and
you.
Y. I get you.
I'll get you.
And I got you. Get you.
Get you.
Okay.
Like a ketchup.
Yeah. Okay. Number 3. Would you like to go out? Would you like to go out? Would you like to go out?
Would you like to go out?
Would you like?
Would you?
Would you like?
We
Would you?
got it. Okay. Number 4.
Mm.
What did you do last night? Or sorry, what did you do last Saturday night? What'd you do last Saturday night?
Did you? Did you?
Did you?
Did you? Did
Good.
you?
Did you?
Did you?
What'd you do? Ja-do. Sorry, sometimes I like listen to the way Americans talk and I'm just like, good Lord. What should you do when you're sick? What should you do when you're sick?
Should you? Should you? What should you?
Should you?
Should you?
What should you do when you're
Should you?
sick? Should you?
Should
Should you? This is
Should
funny.
you? Should.
Should you? What should you do when you're sick? Okay. And number 6, I bought you a present.
I bought you.
Bought you a present.
I bought you a present. Okay. Bought
Perfect.
and you.
Yep. Okay, so what do all of these have in common? Oops.
You,
Yeah. I was like, what, Rosalie? I'm sorry. Okay, guys. They all have you in common, right? So the Y sound is the one that changes to a j or a ch, right? Could you? Get you. What else have we noticed here? When does the J sound show up and when does the ch sound show up? Could you? Get you.
Okay.
Ought you. Should you? Should you?
Should you? Should you?
What is the end sound for each of those? Like, so the word before you ends with a D or a T, right?
Mhm.
Which one do you make a j with and which one do you make a ch with?
Okay. Would you? Get you. Get you.
Get you.
Could you? Yeah, but this, the sound is for
That's
me.
okay.
Is,
Get you.
Yeah. Get you.
Did you?
It's just,
Did you?
could
Get
you?
you.
We use the G sound. And get you, meet you, we use the ch sound.
The,
Exactly. When it ends in a T, we use the ch, and when it
Yes.
ends in a D, we use the j, right?
Mhm.
And that's just the way our tongues are so lazy that we just can't be bothered. Okay.
Mhm.
okay, which one use the G sound?
Could you? J
you?
is
Could
D.
you? Okay.
So if
Could
it ends in
you?
D, we say
D.
kind of like a j.
Could you?
When,
Mhm. Could you?
yeah.
Okay. Could you?
Get
Could
you.
Mm.
Okay.
Get
And again, don't start talking like this. This is more so when you hear it, you're like, okay, those people aren't crazy. They're just lazy. Okay. Does that help a little bit?
Yes.
Okay. For the sake of time, I'm going to move on without us listening to that because I think you guys have got it pretty well. Okay. All right. So we're going to learn now how to express our preferences. And this is where we're going to use that verb preferre that you were talking about. And we here use rather. So we could say prefer. It's a synonym to rather. But you'll hear rather more commonly in America, like kind of spoken. It's like, oh, I'd rather do this versus like, I would prefer to go to the movies. instead of the gym, right?
I hear about the youngest expression about the rather is will I will rather die. I will rather die.
Yeah, that's like a super common one. It's like when teenagers are really upset with their
Yes, with
parents,
that
they're like, I would
teenagers.
rather
Yes.
die. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's very dramatic. So like as a parent with like American kids, right? If you're raising kids in America, you should be prepared for the rather.
Okay.
Okay. So when we look here, who would like to read A and who would like to read B?
Um, I
Luis has got A.
prefer
Who would like to be
A.
B? Rosalie?
B.
Okay. All right. Will you start reading A, please?
Okay. Would you rather see a movie or a play?
I would rather see a movie.
Will they rather stay home or go out?
I think they would rather go out.
Perfect. Okay, so I'd like you guys to individually think of a sentence where you say, I would rather, right?
Okay.
So kind of give us the scenario, right? So someone asks you, would you rather blank or blank, right? And then you would say, I would rather. So can you guys kind of come up with something like that? Oh, this is actually a really fun game. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
would you rather
Okay.
swim with alligators or walk a tightrope across a river? Would you rather swim with alligators or walk a tightrope that's like really high up? What would you rather do?
I would rather cross the river and with
Like a high bridge?
the high bridge, right? Yes, the high bridge.
Okay. Rosalie, would you rather lick the floor or lick a doorknob?
Excuse me, can you repeat?
Would you rather lick a floor or lick a doorknob?
I would rather
Rather lick the dude, me too. I would rather lick the floor than a doorknob. That's like coronavirus territory, right? Okay. Mona, would you rather cut the grass with scissors or have to stand in the rain for the next year? Would you rather cut the grass with scissors or stand in the rain for the next year? Like you'd live in a tent
Stand
outside.
to the rain, you mean the whole year?
The whole year, yeah. You would live in a tent outside. Every time it rained, you'd have to go outside.
Cut the grass with a scissor.
Okay. Okay. So I would rather cut the grass with the scissors. Rosalie would rather lick the floor. And Luis would rather tightrope walk, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it seems like you guys are learning the basis of this. Okay. All right. So number 1 here. We need to complete these questions. So how should we start number 1? What word should go here in this box?
Would you rather work indoors or outdoors?
Perfect. Good job, Luis. Rosalie, can you do this one?
Would you rather study online or in a classroom?
Perfect. We got that. Would you rather study online or in a classroom? And then Mona, you have a very hard
The hardest
task.
one for me.
The hardest one. Oops, sorry, I already filled in. Number 3, Mona, can you fill it in for me?
Okay, would you rather marry or be a single?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So number 1, Luis, ask your question to anyone here.
Okay. Would you rather
Work indoor.
stay home or get out of your home with a coronavirus?
That's good. I think right now I would rather stay home. What about you guys?
For me,
Rosalie.
indoor.
Huh?
For me, indoor.
You would stay indoors too? What about you, Rosalie? What would you prefer? What would you rather do?
Stay indoor.
Stay indoors. Okay, that one works. Does anyone else have a question to ask? What about this one? Would you rather study online or in a classroom? What do you guys think?
For me, classroom.
Classroom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's
For
use the
me,
whole thing.
yes.
I would rather.
I would rather in the classroom. I would rather
Study.
study in the classroom.
Perfect. Perfect. And everyone else agreed they would rather study in the classroom.
Yeah. For me.
Guys, I prefer online.
Why?
I just sit here in my pajamas and I'm like, yeah, let's do English class.
We need people interaction to learn more.
That's true. I think it's harder to learn online, but it is easier to teach online. No, I'm just
Sure,
joking. I
really?
miss you guys. I miss class in person because I miss hanging out with you guys and doing fun stuff like that.
We really miss you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss you guys. Okay. All right. Let's look at this calendar really quick before they shut off my meeting. I'll tell you guys a story about that later. We don't have time now. So look at this calendar. What are these two men planning?
Dinner, movie.
Dinner, possibly a movie, right?
Hmm.
Definitely dinner, maybe a movie.
Maybe.
Okay. And I just want to look here when we're talking about expressing preference.
Preference.
Okay. So we know that we use this I'd rather. We know about that one. But we have these other words that can go in front of it. And it just kind of adds to the conversation, right? So sometimes it's a little rude if like people are talking about what they want to do and then you're all of a sudden, well, I would rather, right? So these are kind of ways to like soften it. So, you know, if your friends are talking like, oh, I want to go to the movies, I want to go to the beach, da 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 da, you can be like, well, you know, if I was given a choice, I would want to go to the beach, right? It's a little bit better than I'd rather do this. So it's just some fun words to like kind of soften it and make the conversation more friendly for people. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So
This rather word we can use instead the I like or we like.
So it's kind of in terms of like when you're picking something.
Okay.
So you could say like, well, I like going to the movies.
Yeah.
But then they'd be like, well, which one do you want to do? Like you can like the movies. Do you want to go to the movies? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So you'd be like, I'd rather go to the movies.
Okay.
But I guess you could say like, I'd like to go to the movies.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that one works too.
Okay.
There's a lot of ways to show preference. We're like, you know, white people
Yeah,
speak English. We like to take things. So like, this is good for us.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm making bad jokes and you guys are just not having it.
Okay.
Okay, we have 5 minutes left, so let's listen to Bo.
Unit 2, Ready for Fun, page 28. Lesson 4, Everyday Conversation. Exercise 4B.
Hi, Bo. I'm ready to leave. Would you like to walk to dinner?
I'd rather drive if it's all right with you, Sam.
Sure. Let's go to that Chinese restaurant downtown.
That place is too crowded and loud. I say we go to the new Italian place.
We can do that. And after that, how about a movie?
Let's play it by ear. I'm very tired.
But not too tired for dinner, right? Let's go.
Okay. So first off, how is Bo feeling?
Tired.
Tired, right? He's like, oh, I don't want to do this.
Tired but hungry.
Huh?
Tired, but he is hungry.
Tired but hungry. That sounds so familiar, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then he uses I'd rather, right? He uses this I'd rather only one time, but he still shows his preference multiple times through here, right? So he only says I'd rather one time, but he's still showing preferences throughout here, right?
Yeah.
So just kind of like something for you guys to pay attention to, and I think Louise got on that earlier, is like, can you say like, I'd like to go versus I'd rather go There's a lot of different ways to show your preference, a lot of different ways to tell people what you want. And what's really cool about English is we use all of them very fluently. So being aware of them and just kind of knowing what people are asking you, I think helps a lot. Because people do ask your preference quite a bit, like if you're eating out or you're at the store or anything, right? So does that make any kind of good sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Feeling okay here? All right.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So I am worried that I did not save us enough time to finish this last page, okay?
Okay.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to mute you guys. I'm so sorry. Okay. So I wanted us to look down here at this test yourself, okay? So I want you guys to think about what your participation was like in class today, okay? So think to yourself, today was I able to, okay? So Luis, today were you able to listen effectively?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. Ooh. I don't know how to make this thing work. I thought you could click that. Okay, yes, he can. Were you able to express a preference?
For me too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luis, Rosalie, whoever.
Yeah. For me, yeah.
Okay. Rosalie, were you able to speak accurately?
Yeah.
Yep. I thought so. I understood you very well. And then were you guys able to summarize a discussion?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think we're doing pretty good. All right. I do just want to let you guys know that we have about a minute left, and I'm going to pull class to close because I'm so sorry. I'm just tired. I'm so sorry.
No problem. No problem.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's
Do you guys have any questions for me?
Not yet. Thank you.
Not yet.
Not
That's
yet.
okay because this was a lot.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I do have enough time to talk about this piece. I like the speaking note right here because I think that this is also good stuff to just know as you're like kind of speaking English out and about, is acknowledging others' responses. So I love it. I think you guys are really great about letting me know that you hear me, right? Because you'll be like, okay, like, yes, teacher, like, I hear you, no problem. And these are basically just some other words to do that. So like, really, it's like, oh, like, that's surprising, but I have nothing to say other than like, oh, that's awesome, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good point. That's interesting. That's an interesting idea. That's an interesting point. I never thought of that. And I didn't know about that, right? So these are just some fun words for us to be aware of when it comes to making people feel heard in conversations, okay?
Okay.
All right, and that's all I have. Any questions, shoot me an email. Class is gonna end here soon. I have no control over it. Oh, actually, I'll try to tell you the funny story of why class ends now. So I was using my old school